We already established in previous videos that AI is not taking your job. Still, will have to, unfortunately, go to your work tomorrow and make that bread. So the real question is, how do we actually use AI as Java developers to improve our performance, to make our job a little bit easier, while also not producing extreme amounts of slop and stuff like that. So yeah, who I am. My name is Oscar and I'm a Java developer for almost a year, working for a major Danish consulting company. Unfortunately, consulting have the product. That's actually sad. So as we established, AI is not your enemy. It's not taking your job. It's not doing better job than you. The output of independent model, if we just run it, is mediocre at best. And absolutely abysmal at worst. So how do we do something about it? First of all, one rule for you is that if you let AI plan your execution of your code, always you are the one that is writing it. And if you are planning the code, so you are writing extremely long prompts and specifications for the AI, then AI, of course, is writing it. So basically, this way, you're always making sure that you know what's going on in the code. You are not just copy pasting or letting the AI agent edit the files. You are always the one person in control. And I don't believe in any like loop programming and like just letting AI burn million tokens uh, running until it finishes the task, because that in like real enterprise environment is not feasible, because you are not working on a subscription. For example, you are paying $200 to Claude and getting like unlimited amount of tokens. In real corporate environment, you are using, for example, some internal system that is then connecting to these external AI providers, for example, Claude, ChatGPT, or others. And this internal system is using API keys from the Anthropic, ChatGPT, and so on. And most of them have very, very expensive pricing. So you don't get inferred usage from the subscriptions, you pay as you go. And because of that, in most of the companies, if not all of them, you have very small amounts of usage that you can basically use. So, for example, when I'm using Claude models, Anthropic models, most often this usage is done at 1/3 of the task. So it's doing 1/3 of the task that I asked it to, and basically the limit is gone. So it's not possible for us developers to basically just let AI do everything. And even if that was possible, we still would have to make sure that the output is correct and we know what's going on. That's basically how the software development lifecycle works with the um, code reviews and so on. And basically, after the introduction of the agentic AI to our project, not only we spend less time on the code reviews, but actually we have to spend 2 times more time on it, because now we have a rule that more people, so 2+ people, have to review one PR to make sure that we know what's going on, and we are not just merging some AI AI output to our project. So as I said, if AI plans, you write. If you plan, AI writes. So we always are in the loop. We always know what's going on. Next step. So agentic AI, super popular topic right now. Basically, how do you use it optimally? First of all, agentic AI is great because it has access to all of your code base. It's not just a chat window that you just paste classes and pray that they're gonna fit to the context window. Agentic AI using something called Harness. has access to your code base, of course, in quotation marks, because it's a long topic. It's actually quite interesting. Maybe we go into this in some other video, but basically, just for simplicity and for this video, it has access to your code base. So when you're using, for example, Cloud Code, Codex, it can inspect, edit, and edit files in your code base, which is great. But of course, it really quickly, if you have a bigger project, it obviously very quickly fills up the context menu. So very often you have to compact the chat window. Most of the agentic tools like Cloud Code and OpenCode and Codex have a command like /compact that just summarizes what was happening in the current chat, and like discards or like hides the previous messages so they don't um, land in the context window. And the AI has like only the most recent and relevant stuff that it has to do. So the first tip is obviously to use it maybe not very often, because that would be have diminishing results. But I think like when you start seeing weird outputs, or like when AI starts hallucinating or something, it's very often very good moments to compact the message, or like every so on, basically, to do it. I think in OpenCode, for example, it does it automatically after you hit some threshold of tokens that are in the context window. So the first tip is obviously to use the compact, but the second tip is to use skills, and two skills that are basically goated skills for software development. First one is superpowers, and the second one is caveman. Uh, Unfortunately, I couldn't use them on my project because I would have to like go through all of this architects documentation and so on to like because it's like external software basically. So merging it would be quite a hassle. So I wrote down maybe like a custom version of it for my project that I'm working on. So basically, superpowers is a skill that forces your AI to go through a seven step process to figure out how to implement feature that you are requesting. So it's forcing it to ask you questions, propose a design spec, and only after complete all of the steps it starts implementing. And that is actually amazing, because we are making sure that AI has all of the context, it has all of the information, and then before it starts implementing and editing files, you can read and what it wants to do and how it wants to do it, and you can correct. And the second skill that is amazing is caveman. That is basically forcing your AI to speak to you like a very mentally impaired caveman that is using just simple commands and is not producing all of that slop and wasting your tokens on responding to you and giving you like straight answers to it. From my experience, it's not always working that well, but from like the people testing it, it probably reduces like on average your token usage by 70%. So it's super huge. And I think yeah, I'm looking at my notes. That's all that I want to talk about today. Of course, we are gonna talk more about AI and how we go in depth into it in the next episodes. Today, I just wanted to shortly explain to you my like process and how I use it on a day-to-day basis as a Java developer. And of course, if you want to learn how to become Java developer, there's a link for you in the description. You can join my community. And till the next one, create some amazing applications.